Well, what is next, my friends? So we've learnt to cast on, we've learnt knit stitch, we've learnt purl stitch, we've learnt rib stitch, which is not here. And another thing that you need to know when you knit is to cast off, which means if you are finished, if that is all you are wanting to do, like a world's tiniest pocket, then you need to learn to cast off. So you'll be doing this essentially at the end of each panel you do, and it kind of repeats this beautiful edging here, but on the top side. Okay, so essentially first we're going to do cast off in a knit stitch. So if it says cast off in this knit stitch, this is what you'll be doing. Essentially you're kind of knitting to begin with. So you stab, get a nice tension, you reel them in, throw them off a cliff, and you do 2 stitches. Stab, strangle, throw them in, throw them off the cliff. So when you've got your 2 knit stitches on your right hand needle, you're kind of going to do a little once over jobby. So you can either use your needle, or sometimes I actually use my fingers, but I'll show you with the needle first. So you get your left needle, and now you're going to use your left needle going in on the right. Normally it's always your right needle going in on your left, but to cast off you use this as a little hook, and you're going to grab this stitch on the right hand side, you're going to pull it over the other one, and the needle comes through, and now you've only got 1 stitch on there, so you've cast off 1 stitch. To do a cast off loopy over, once over, you need 2 stitches on your right needle. So we go in again, stab, strangle, over and off. Now you've got 2 stitches, time for a cast off. So here we are with our, you can bring it a bit closer, that helps. Or I'll show you with your fingers. Essentially you can just grab and pull it over if you want to do it with your fingers. So now you've only got 1, so you need another. Knit stitch, round, pull through, off the needle. You've got 2. I'll go in again with my needle in case that's your jam. Just kind of got to really get in there. That's why I like the finger situation, because sometimes it can be a bit tricky. I'm just going to go with the fingers. That's the good thing about this chunky yarn, is you can actually pick it up. If you had thin yarn, you definitely need your needle. I've only got 1, so I've got to get another on there. Through I go, around from the back, pull through and over. And I want to get it with the needle because I know it can be done. Oh, here we go. Got it. And off it goes. Yep. See, and it's forming a lovely little ridge along here. Let's keep going. Another one. Another nitty, and you don't want to be doing any of this too tight. I'm going to use my fingers. So kind of loosen this up, make sure you're not holding it too tight. That one might be a bit tight. Just kind of really get loosey-goosey with your going around, otherwise you might have almost a bit of like a tension in the seam, which you don't really want. So go loosey-goosier than you expect, kind of get this looser than you would when you're knitting. Around and off, got 2 on here, so that means you can bring this one over. And another one, so around we go, through and off, your normal knit stitch. I'm going to go again with this, just to show it can be done. And up and over, and here's your last one. So over we go. Now you've only got 2 left, so nice and loose here. You bring that last one over, and you're left with 1 stitch on your needle, and see a beautiful edging there. So what you're going to do is kind of use this to pull a bit, and you'll get your yarn and chop it off, which I'm not going to do. Once it's chopped off, I'm just going to use the whole thing. You put it back through and then pull to tie a little knot, and there you have cast off and knit stitch your little swatch. Ain't she cute?